This is Glenn Rice with Michelangelo's Plumbing. We're located at 2150 West El Segundo Boulevard, Gardena, California, 90249. Today is September 19th, 2019. We're performing a waistline inspection through a floor drain just in the front counter. This is our front counter area of LTO. Rico's Taco and Gardena. So this is our front counter area. This is our door that comes into the kitchen area. And we're going to go ahead and clean our camera lens. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor already. So we're going to go ahead and begin to run down our floor drain. We're going to go slow, so we try to keep the camera lens clean. And we're going to pause for a moment and run a little bit of water, clean up the camera lens.
Okay, we're down into the cast iron line, and right here at the bottom area, at about the 5 o'clock area, you can see a small area about the size of a dime or a nickel that may have the beginning of a hole in the cast iron piping, and that is at the top of the pipe. Our camera is flipped around, as you can see. At the top of the screen, that looks like there's a penny or another piece of money. It could be a dime or nickel, can't tell for sure. But at the top of That's really the top of the pipe, and that may have a small hole through it. Once this line is scoured with a hydrojetter, then we could take a look and we would be able to tell better. So we're going to keep running into the line. And we have to run the mini camera through here. We can't get our large camera through. It's going to be difficult. And we have something in there, something foreign that doesn't belong there, that's catching a lot of debris and building up. As you can see, we're pushing a lot of debris as it is. We're probably going to have to go ahead. We're going to pause for a minute, and we're going to, we're going to just run in, and then we're going to flush the line. This is going to be very difficult. We're going to have to keep flushing this line with the amount of debris in there. So again, we can't see. We can pause for just a moment. I'm going to try and flush the camera lens, and we'll push in again. So we'll pause for a moment. Okay, we tried to flush the line. We ran some water down and tried to shake the camera. We're not really getting much. Can't get it clear. Unfortunately, we just have a whole lot of debris in here. We're going to run out as far as we can, and then we're going to try and get a hose in here and just flush this line enough to where we can see. Shake it in. Pull back. And then go in. Very difficult to try and see anything because there's so much debris in the line.
Yeah, it's heavily compacted.
About it.
Yeah.
Get it through.
Yeah. That's getting tighter and tighter.
We're having a real difficult time trying to push the camera cable. So we're going to pause for just a moment. We're going to try and flush quite a bit of water through here. See if we can clear this camera lens. Okay, we're gonna pull the camera out real quick since we flushed the line, and we're gonna try and go back in again.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, that's normal. That was to be expected, but... So get some hydrogen in now. Okay. Yeah. Just wipe off the head. Don't wipe off the rest of it. Just wipe off the lens. Got it good? Okay. We're going to go back in and we're going to try and run it again. We've got so much grease on the line and there's so much debris in there. It's very difficult to try and see anything. Going back in. Got quite a bit of build up on the 2-inch cast iron line. And there's a lot of grease at the bottom, which is to be expected in a restaurant. It's not terrible for a restaurant, but it is to be expected. Push through. Okay, we're going to pause for 1 second. We'll try and run a little more water, rinse our camera lens off.
You've got grease on there. It's not coming off. No, it's not. No, it's got grease on it.
Pull down. Pull down. Or try to go forward. Try to go forward. Okay, hold it right there. Let me run a little water. Just pause some weight. Okay, we're going back in again. We're going to try and push in as fast as we can. Try and get out to about 35 feet, and then we'll We'll pause for a moment and see if we get lucky here, which can be very difficult. Now we're at 27. We're going to try and flush it again.
It's holding back water.
Put your hands closer to the cleaner.
What?
So you don't end up bending them. Because you're pushing way up there. You're going to end up tweaking that cable. It's already bending a little bit. Just got to stay a little bit closer to the cleaner above. When you're pushing in and out, it's not bowing so much. I'm going to pause our mic for a moment. We're going to begin pulling back just a little bit. See if we get a clear picture. We're going to pause right here for a moment. Let this water drain down a little bit and dissipate. I think we've got some standing water in there as well. We're going to pull back a little bit further. Try and see if we can get a picture. A little bit of a picture, but still not getting great. Just too much grease in the line, too much debris. Every time we put the camera down here, it gets covered up. I'm going to run a little bit more water and see if it helps at all. think you're gonna get in there.
The grease just gets on there.
Okay, we're gonna pull back now. And I don't know that we're gonna see too much here because I think we've got too much grease on the camera lens. So we're gonna just pull out one more time. We've already seen the buildup in the line. We know that there's a whole lot of grease in this line. This line would have to be hydrojetted and scrubbed before we could even re-inspect. So we're going to pull out of the line now. We're going to move to another clean out. It's the opposite side of the restaurant, over by the cashier's window for the outside. And there's a clean out in the floor by the floor sink. We're going to try and run through there and see if we have any better luck, but more than likely we're going to run into the same thing, but we'll try it real quick. If it doesn't work, we're going to recommend that these drain lines be cleaned and hydrojetted and scrubbed before we try and re-inspect so that we could actually see something. Right now, this camera is just covered with grease. The spring on the camera is covered with grease. The lens is covered with grease. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do with it. I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we're on the other side of the kitchen now, and we're going to wipe our camera lens off. And we're going to attempt to run through this floor drain, see if we can see anything. More than likely, we're going to run into a lot of grease. We're going down into our floor drain now, 2-inch floor drain. And unfortunately we run into a lot of debris
Right there.
and a lot of grease, and I believe we're holding some water back. We may be filling these drain lines as we're trying to flush them. We're going to try and flush it a little bit, see if we can do anything. Okay, we're down in the other floor drain toward the cashier's area, going out to the exterior to the drive-through, and we just got a whole lot of debris. Very difficult to try and push the camera cable, and we immediately go into water. We're probably holding water right now because we're trying to flush the camera lens off, and we got a whole lot of debris in here. These lines need to be cleaned before we can try and re-inspect. So we're going to pull our camera out right now. We're not going to waste time and spend any more time trying to get through these lines. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move to the bathroom areas where we know we have some problems, where the floor, when you step on the bathroom floors, there's water squishing out of the tile from underneath the tile. So we believe we have some broken lines in the bathroom. So we're going to move the camera equipment to there and try and see what we can do. And then we're going to move outside and run through the sewer lines. So we're going to pause for a moment. As you can see, as we're coming back now, we got a whole lot of debris in here. Got a lot of grease, a lot of debris, a lot of buildup. The line is draining, but they definitely got some issues. We're going to pause for a moment. Or you in there?
Okay.
Go ahead. You can. You know what you're doing.
Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves to the bathroom, which is apparently the customer's bathroom here. And this is our 4-inch ABS clean out. This is our bathroom area. I'm sorry, that is a cast iron clean out. It's our bathroom area. And we're going to go ahead and zero out here.
Go.
I'm going to go ahead and drop down. And we're dropping down into our waistline here. We're going to go ahead and just continue to pull out slowly, push out slowly. Try not to get any buildup on the camera lens and get out as far as we can. There's be a lot of buildup in this line. Okay, we went ahead and flushed the toilet, so that is our toilet inlet there. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. Okay, we went ahead and flushed the toilet in the employee's bathroom, and that is our employee bathroom inlet there. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, we're going to try to push out slowly, keep the debris off the camera, and continue to push out to take a good look at the line. Does appear to be a plastic bag. We're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And we're just going to push out as far as we can. Making a little bit of a turn.
I'm going to flush the toilet real quick. You're already in water, huh?
Yeah, I'm already in water.
Okay. We're holding water.
We appear to be holding back water in this area, so we're just going to push out as far as we can. Continue to push out. Okay, we're going to pause here and locate this area. It does appear that we transitioned to the outside of the building. We are in orange and vitreous clay here, so we're going to pause here for a moment and locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and we're just out in the parking lot at about 2 foot 4 inches deep. So we're going to go ahead and just pull back and relocate ourselves to the outside of the building and run through a sewer clean out that is just outside of the building. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we flushed the toilet to help clean our camera monitor. We're just going to go ahead and wait a minute for the water to run down, and then we'll continue to pull back and take a look at the line as we pull back.
Begin pulling back.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and begin to pull back, and we're going to take a good look at the line as we pull back. It appears we're making a little bit of turn here, and a bit of an offset there. We're holding back water in that joint. So we're just going to continue to pull back slowly. Very heavy debris in the line, a lot of grease. And we transitioned back into our cast iron waistline. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back slowly. I don't know. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. We did flush the toilet again to try to help clean our camera lens. We're just going to pull back, and as I mentioned, we transitioned back into the cast iron waistline. So we're just underneath the building now. Continue to pull back. Quite a bit of debris, grease, a lot of buildup in the cast iron. And as we mentioned before, the line should be hydrojetted before we re-inspect the line again. Just so much grease in here we can't see anything as we're running out. We can't get a good look at the line. Let's see if we can get another rag out of the truck, help wipe up some of this grease on our cable. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back.
Okay, we're going to continue pulling back now and pull back to our clean out and then relocate our camera to the exterior of the building at the mainline sewer clean out. We're going to pause at this time.
Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves, and we're out in the parking lot area through a 4-inch cast iron clean out, which is located in one of the parking stalls. Just next to the grease interceptors. So we went ahead and just clean our camera lens really quick, and we went ahead and zeroed out our camera already. So we're just going to go ahead and drop down our clean out. And get into our vitreous clay. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. I'll push out slowly. Appears to be vitreous clay. A lot of debris on the side walls there, as you can see. A lot of buildup on the side. Very difficult to see the joint. So we're just going to continue to push out. And as we recommended to do the hydrojetting in the inside floor drains and in the bathroom there, the vitreous clay should also be hydrojetted all the way out to our city sewer tie-in. That way we can get a good look at the line. Right now, a lot of debris on the side. I'm trying to go out slowly so that we don't build up a lot of debris on the camera lens, but very difficult to do considering that it's got a lot of grease buildup on the sides there. So what we'll do is we'll just continue to push out as far as we can, and once we get out as far as we can maybe run some water, get our camera lens clean, and as we pull back, a lot easier pulling back. The camera lens is not getting caught up in the grease, and we can pull back and take a good look at the joints on the way back. I'm just going to continue to push out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to push out as far as I can, see if we can get into our city sewer tie-in. Once we get into our city sewer tie-in, we can run some water and get our camera lens clearing, and we can pull back and take a look at the joints. It's going to be very difficult to determine the condition of the joints just due to the buildup around the joints, all the grease, all the buildup all the way around. So we're just going to continue to push out. We're making a little bit of a turn, and it appears we're dropping into our city sewer now. So we're going to pause here and just get as much water as we can running, get our camera lens clean, and then we'll pause, get our camera lens nice and clean, and we'll continue to pull back and take a look at the joints. So we'll pause here. Okay, we went ahead and ran some water, and we're able to get our camera lens nice and clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to pull back slowly and take a good look at the line. Those joints appeared to be in fair condition.
No, yeah, that's a crack all the way around the saddle, right joint before the saddle.
Yeah, it does appear that we do have a crack here at the joint just as we pull back after the saddle and the joint there. As you can see, there's a crack there around the 6 o'clock area. You see the water running. As I pull back, you can see the crack. And as we pull back a little bit further, you can see there's the joint, and the crack is visible from about the 3 o'clock to about the 9 o'clock area. And again, a lot of grease, a lot of buildup on the side walls there. Very difficult to see the condition all the way around. So we're going to pause for a moment and locate this area. Okay, we did locate this area, and it's about 9 foot 3 inches deep, and it's about in the middle of the street on Van Ness Street, Van Ness Avenue. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Okay, we do have a minor offset in this joint here. Nothing major. We're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back slowly. It's approximately 4 feet between joints. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And again, hydrojetting would help this line get it all nice and clean, get all the grease and build up off the side of the walls there, and we'll be able to see the joints a lot clearer. Right now we're only really able to determine what we can see on the bottom half and what's visible. It's covered with a lot of grease and dried up grease buildup all around the diameter of the pipe. That joint appears to be in fair condition. Okay, we're going to continue to pull back, and that joint appears to be in fair condition. As we pulled back, we did notice right around the 9 o'clock area, all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area, there is a large crack, and it is broke in that area. So we're just going to push in a little bit. As you can see, there's a large crack there, and there's a large piece that's broken that could possibly over time fall out with earth movement, any type of large truck or something bouncing on the road there, and could possibly compromise the line. So we're just going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we did locate this area, and it is at 5 foot 10 inches deep, and it's just on the sidewalk area.
It's in the street.
And it's in the street.
Just inside the street, about a foot.
I'm sorry, it's just inside the street, about a foot from the sidewalk. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back slowly, and continue to take a good look at the line as best we can. Do have a minor offset, but nothing major. So we're just going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair condition. Continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And this is appears to be our transition from 4-inch to 6-inch vitreous clay. And this is property line? This is right around our property line. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we're going to pause here for a moment, locate this area. Okay, we did locate this area, and it is at 5 foot 2 inches deep, and it is just next to the sidewalk in the grass area. And we're going to continue to pull back.
Yeah, that's broken.
As we pull back to the next joint, it does appear that we do have another break here. As you can see, right around the 3 o'clock to about the 9 o'clock area. As I push in there, you can see that this is the actual joint here, and as we push in a little bit, you can see that this here is actually cracked and broken. So we're going to pause for a second to mark this area.
It's dropped.
Okay, we did locate this area, and it is at 5 foot 2, and it's on the sidewalk just next to the grass area. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Appears we have a fairly large offset here, right around the 2 o'clock area, all the way around to about the 7, 8 o'clock area. As you can see that the face of the joint there is sticking up there, and that could possibly over time catch debris and cause soft stoppages or create a stoppage. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as I suggested, if you do hydrojet the inside floor drains, it would be a good idea to hydrojet this line to take a really good look at it again, and just to see the joints really well. Right now we do have a little bit of debris, a little bit of grease buildup and stuff throughout the line, some areas worse than others, so it does make it a little difficult to determine what's actually broken or if it's a joint. So it'd be good idea for a hydrojetting. Just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. A little bit of offset of this joint here. We do have a fairly large offset in this joint, and it is from about the 7 o'clock area all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area. As you can see, the pipe head shifted downward. So you can see the whole top face there, you can see the whole top face of the joint there as we pull back. So we're going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to minor offset, nothing major. We're going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair condition. I'll pause for a moment. I already did that. I checked it earlier. I thought the same thing. I'll go ahead and continue to pull back. As we pull back now, we're up into the parking lot area. We're at about 38 feet, so we're in the parking lot area now. And we're going to just continue to pull back to our next joint. That joint there appears to be in fair condition. Continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And again, as we pull back closer to the restaurant, we do have a bit more debris, a bit more grease buildup there on the side walls, as you can see. So it does make it a little bit difficult to determine the condition of the pipe. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And it does appear that we have a fairly large offset in this joint here, right around the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock area, all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area. As you can see, we do drop down here, and as we pull back, you can see the large face at the top from about the 8 o'clock area around to the 3 o'clock area. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as we get closer back towards the restaurant, the debris does get a little bit more, a little more grease, a little more debris. And we're pulling back up and out of our clean out. And we're going to pause here and we're going to relocate ourselves on the drive-through side of the building and run through the sewer clean out on that side up to this clean out here and take a good look at the line there. So we're going to pause here for a moment.
Right there.
What was it? What is that? Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves to the drive-through side of the building, and we are running through a 4-inch cast iron cleanout, which is located just before the drive-through window. And this is our drive-through side of the restaurant. This is the drive-through window, and that's our wall that's going towards the entrance to the drive-through. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor already, so we are going to go ahead and begin running out. And we're going to run out approximately now this line here is completely covered in debris. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, as we pushed in here and attempted to run out to our city sewer area there to run into our tie-in, which is on the other side of the property, this line here is just heavily compacted in grease and debris. I'm going to clean off the camera lens a little bit there so you can see, and as I drop down in, I'm going to drop down slowly, but you can just see the amount of debris. I basically poked that hole in there. It's just heavily compacted in grease. So this line here would need to be hydrojetted in order to run the camera through here. By running the camera now, we're not going to be able to determine any condition of the line, and we possibly just not going to really see nothing at all. So we would suggest that you get this area here hydrojetted, get it all cleaned out, and after it's all hydrojetted out, we can run our camera through and take a really good look at the line. So we're just going to go ahead and pause our mic here and our video, and we're going to pull out and clean up the grease off the cameras. So we'll pause here.